bad boy. Let's do it then. Let's do it like we're doing it for TV. Start. Ooh, it's getting darker here. Oh my goodness gracious. People love to buy, but they hate to be sold to. People love to buy and hate to be sold to. So how do we take advantage of that when we are trying to, as buyers, get our sellers to buy our services to sell their contracts to us? That's what we are talking about today on the Do REI Deals IG YouTube Live. We got my man Justin here. You the man, you the myth, you the legend. Justin, I need to get you on to the next capacity to be a REI meetup to talk about your journey, man. People will be inspired to see your grit and see how you're doing it, man. Today, we're on YouTube Live as always. If you're checking us out on Instagram, go check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to Do REI Deals with Courtney Rollins. Oh, no, with the Aqua team. And you'll see tons of free tips and strategies. You'll be able to see the actual screen and presentations that we provide here to give you a little bit more tools. If you're here with us on IG, thanks for rocking with us. And I'm here with part of my sales team and the person who's really helped me learn how to really sell and talk to people and connect with folks. The most beautiful person I met, my first love, my mama. Ooh, what's up, Mom? How you doing?
Hi, Courtney. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, my mom is awesome. If you all don't know, she is our inbound manager for our team for the last maybe over a year or so. So when you are doing these calls, or if you're doing any type of marketing or any type of really type of marketing, it's important that you pick up the phone and you answer the phone when folks actually call you back, whether it's buyers, sellers, title companies, or whatever. And if you have a full-time job like I do that's outside of wholesaling, outside of real estate, it's even more imperative that you get to these phones. And my mom has been just an ace boom right there, answering our calls, taking our calls. And she said her hair ain't did today, so that's why she's not on the screen. But y'all just imagine, well, I would say imagine me with a nice afro. Oh man, that'd be funny. You may not want to do that. But how you doing, Ma? How you enjoying the team so far and the work you've been doing with us?
Oh, I'm enjoying it to the highest. I get a kick out of you guys, learning a lot from you.
Well, we learned. Well, I told you, like I said, the first person I learned from is you, especially how to communicate with folks. You always like open your mouth and don't be afraid to speak and listen to people. And she got the highest, I guess, acumen or just emotional intelligence of people that I've seen and all. But I'm so excited too, because my mom has decided, she said to me about a month ago, hey, Courtney, I want to step up. I want to actually make calls. I see you up there on Instagram. I see the team up there making calls, and I want to do that. And so for the past couple of weeks, we've been talking, been training, going over the script. And that's why she's here. She's on here because she's part of the sales team, and we will continue to go over our training. Whether you think you're an extrovert and you got the gift of gab, or perhaps you have more introverted personality, which doesn't mean you don't have the gift of gab. It just means not, talking to folks maybe doesn't come as something you want to do first thing. Regardless, talking sales is a skill you can learn because it really boils down to active listening. It is all about listening, asking the right type of quality questions and phrases that allow you to understand if you have the tools in your tool belt to serve and help these sellers. Remember, we're talking about real estate. If I got to back up a little bit, we're talking about wholesaling real estate. There's only a small number or percentage of the population out there that have houses that really can be served by us. Folks who want to sell houses, most of them, just to be quite honest, don't need a wholesaler or somebody to buy it quickly for cash. They better served going to a traditional route, listing it or selling it themselves for top dollar. But we trade speed and convenience often for a discounted price quite often, or speed and convenience for a discounted entry level. Because sometimes we can still offer top dollar if we're doing some type of creative financing, but it's that speed and convenience. And that means we're serving folks who have some pain or some situation, and to be able to hear that and see that and find it out. And sometimes even help, Justin, help the seller discover that they actually have a pain or situation. We have to be active listeners. We have to be consultants. We have to be that doctor. We have to be able to listen. So today we're actually going to talk about a specific mean, I call it technique and strategy, but it's really just a way to be another active listener. Because none of these are really like get slick. It's all really about being a quality listener. But this is a strategy or technique that really will help you make your calls easier, make your calls hopefully more fun, and make you more effective in supporting your seller. And then we'll do a little role play. How's it sound, Ma?
Sounds fine.
All right, all right. So the title of this is Don't Chase the Dog. All right. So my dog right there, you see him on the screen. If you're on IG, you probably no, he ain't here because I kick him out sometimes. What's up, Elise? We about to get that thing done. But my dog, Chippy, he's a wonderful dog. He got so much spirit, he got so much energy. And when I let him off the leash over at Carroll Park in Baltimore, this boy loves to run. Matter of fact, I had him on the leash the last 2 months because the last time I let him off the leash, this sucker MC took off all over the park. I'm still a little heated about it, to be honest. And so I'm like, you sucker, come on, man, it's time to go. And so, I'm usually throwing sticks with him, but then he just I don't know if he catches a squirrel or something. He just all over the park and just took off running. And so I'm chasing after him. And then I realized, oh man, what am I doing chasing after this dog? I know how to get this dog to come back to me. So I just start actually walking away, jogging away the other direction. Of course, his little silly tail come hopping back to me. And he must have pulled a muscle or something because for a while he was walking with the limp and everything. I had to get him some doggy ibuprofen to help with the swelling and all. But I was like, that's what you get, man. But that's how it is. Anytime he gets out and runs, he takes off. He thinks it's a game and then wants me to chase after him. Sometimes it's happened even when he's gotten loose when I'm about to walk him. And all I do is just walk straight to the car because I know if I go after him, he's going to take off. But if I walk to the car, he's going to run to the car and then he jumps in the car and then I snatch him up and take him back wherever we're going. But it's really similar with our sellers. You don't want to feel like you are being such a salesman-y and feeling so pressured and so stressed. So practice pulling away. Don't chase the dog, throwing away your leads. And here are a couple of things I want you to think about when we talk about pulling away. One is that selling is easier. It can actually be more fun when it doesn't feel like you're selling. When you're sitting there having a great conversation, chatting with them, asking them questions about, well, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? Things that maybe not even what you can do. Like, why don't you fix it up? Or why don't you keep that tenant? Or why not just evict her and put another tenant in there, Or why not sell it yourself? Stuff like that. It takes the pressure away from you from being like, yo, I can buy the property as is. I can do this. Oh yeah, I can do this tomorrow. I can do that today. I can do that, And people don't, it doesn't, it makes you not feel as salesman-y. It takes the pressure off of you. And once you can relax, you're able to offer to that seller your big old ears and your authentic self in a fuller way. And that's what people want. People want authentic people. So that's just something to think about. Another thing to consider, it ties right in. People like to be sold, but people don't like to be sold, but they love to buy. Now, don't let your brain get hurt because we are actually trying to buy the property, but we're selling our services to buy the property, if that makes sense. So people don't they want to buy the Aqua team. They want to buy Justin. They want to buy Elise as a wholesaler. That's the folks that they want to buy. They want to buy Braxton services, They want to buy Sheena Mullers and the wholesale queen. That's what they want to do. They want to buy our services because we can't convince these folks to sell the property. And you probably don't want to convince somebody to sell the property. Only thing we can do is show certainty, competency, and likability. I'm about to get that person back. So where was? Oh yeah, trying to make sure I'm still live right here, boy. I tell you, gotta be a way. Has to be a way to make sure I block my phone calls when they come in when I'm on live. But regardless, we're still here. We live. And then the last thing I want you to think about, there's plenty to think about, but one other way to put this is pulling away from the deal actually helps you reveal the motivation and pain that we're able to address. These sellers are conditioned, and we are as humans just conditioned to hold stuff close to the chest more often than not. So when I'm sitting there trying to look at the cards and say what's going on, see behind the veil, they're going to have their guard up. But when I'm relaxed and I'm not even, trying or seeming to try to figure out what's going on, but I'm asking some quality questions, or I'm phrasing things and labeling things that don't have to be questions, but labeling things in quality ways, or mislabeling things in quality ways, then I quite often can get more revealed, which allows me to see, oh, do we actually have pain here that we can address? Do we actually have motivation that we can address? And that's what we're trying to find out. So what does it sound like? Just here, 3 real quick things it sound like, and then we're going to jump into it. So one thing it sounds like is, maybe you might say, oh, what, after you've started talking to the seller and you started, you qualified through our CPR time, condition, the price, the reason, timeline. And this may be one of the things you get where you get the reason. I want to check out Simply JB. That sounds like a cool space right there. What's going on? But one thing you might say is, what? It seems like you have a great property, John. Why would you even sell? Or why would you even want to sell? And just a matter of fact, open up questions, then you just be quiet. Again, you want to be doing less of the talking and more of the steering of the conversation through quality questions or statements, All right. Another thing is maybe they're getting they got an offer that's, hey, well, shoot, I got a 100K offer and the property, is worth 70K or whatever, regardless, doesn't matter what it's worth. Like, wow, I got an offer for 55 for it. Even if it's a low offer or extremely high offer, then wow, okay, if you get those offers, why not go with them? Well, why haven't you sold it already? Or sometimes if they have an offer that is too high, I'm like, you should go with that. That sounds like a great offer. I doubt we're going to be the sellers that or the buyers at that price. We really try not to we try to make offers that we know we can follow through on. So if you can get that, that's awesome. Another one is one of the first things we say in the first couple of minutes of our calls. I probably caught you. You already made your proposition. You already said, yo, hey, how you doing? It's Courtney Rollins. I'm trying to buy properties in this area. Just wonder if you're interested in selling. Remember, we're not trying to make offers. We're here to buy properties. So I'm trying to see if you want to offer. Nope. I'm trying to buy properties in the area. Wonder if you're interested in selling. But it sounds like I caught you at a bad time, though. I probably caught you at a bad time, though, right? Giving them the chance to say no in the beginning. That's going to allow them to, feel that sense of control, already recognize that you're not in here trying to bust down the doors and all that good stuff. And yeah, so that's pulling away. Don't chase the dog, folks. Let the dog chase you. I mean, there's even tons of other phrases you can say, things you can think about. If y'all have any ideas, drop them in the comment section. We love to share. We love learning ourselves. There are quite often where I've had the seller actually convincing me, oh, I was on the phone today. Mr. Stanley, you guys know Mr. Stanley, Quantico Avenue. He sat there for 13 minutes convincing me why I should buy his property. And I'm like, well, I hear you, Stanley. I see. And I wasn't going against what he was saying. I wasn't being contrary. I was like, I hear you, Stanley. It's just we have a buying box. Hey, this is where our buying box is. Well, you're going to tell me, Courtney, that $5,000 is going to make a big difference. Come on now. This property is this. This property is that. It's next to the Pimlico race station. Everybody loves Pimlico race station in Baltimore. It's this other property sold for blah, blah, blah less. If I wasn't going to, then he revealed, some of his pain. If I wasn't trying to move to Florida by blah, 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 I would hold on to it. And then it just allowed me to dig more into it. And so by the time it's time to get that commitment of, okay, if I send this purchase agreement over to you and we get at this price, you're ready to go. He's already selling me. He's already helping me lock up the contract and get the property. So it really, really, yep. When it's REI Just, what did Justin say? Followed up and sell again today. The guy stuck on me giving him $1,000. All right, let's talk about that real quick though. But so just real quick, don't chase the dog. Pull away. It's going to make you feel more relaxed. You'll be able to pull more motivation out to see if you're able to actually serve your seller. And really all this is coming from a service mindset. As a consultant or as a doctor or as a nurse, quite often you're asking very qualified questions or making qualified statements to help your patient or person understand the needs that they may have, shoulder to shoulder, not face to face. Y'all are connected with each other. So we're about to role play real quick. But before we do that, Sheena, what's up? Oh, my man Brian's coming in. Sheena, what is the deal? I hope you're doing well. I want to address Justin's statement real quick. Justin has a buyer that is adamant about him giving him $1,000 in his hand. And Justin, I mean, Sheena might have some other say. Simply JV, I checked out his site. I want to connect with you. I know I said it 3 or 4 times, but I don't recommend that at all, man. Not at all. Again, some of the phrases or things that you want to say is that you want to be able to protect him, the seller, and yourself, and that's why you go through a third-party licensed escrow company or closing attorney. They can hold the escrow, right? They can hold that money there. You know, if you're concerned about the 1,000, which is kind of large for a JV or for not JV, but for a wholesale deal, then you know, just ask him. It may be a way to find out some of those deal breakers. Did he get burnt by a wholesaler before? And maybe even ask him, you know, why you know, you're used to doing it this way. This is your policy. This is the way we work as a company. And then ask him more about why he wants to hold in his pocket. And then really at the end of the day, if he doesn't push or budge or nudge, man, that's why you keep your pipeline full. That's another thing. We're not really real estate investors at all, folks. We are marketers. And we got to market. We got to be out there. We got to that's why people are trying to get their ads everywhere. Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they're trying to convince you that they're the best product every day. So is iPhone. So is any good product. But they're trying to do it in a way it doesn't feel like they're selling to you. They want you to feel like you're buying. So yeah, brother, I would not put that $1,000 in his pocket. $1,000, I wouldn't mind if it's a really good deal. Actually, putting it in escrow. And quite often, if you got a great deal, your buyer's going to go ahead and put that 5,000 EMD down for you. But Sheena's saying yes, she agrees. If you have any other tips or phrases that Justin can use to help think about that, I would definitely do so. I'm gonna do so. Please share, Sheena, and anybody up here, really. But yeah. What's up, B? I see Brian just jumped into our page.
Hey man, doing great.
Yeah, man. I got me and my mama up here talking about not chasing the dog and pulling away, and you're really strong at that. Just not put you on the spot. Do you have any things to say about like some of the power of that when you're talking to your sellers? And yeah,
man, I mean, like just you feel it and you hear it. You know, is the main thing that I would say is I told you I just moved and we're having all of these different contractors come out and we got stuff that needs to be fixed and whatnot. And one of the guys came out to me and he was like, you know, I probably shouldn't be saying this as an employee of, I'll leave the company name out, but this is actually a little expensive. He's like, this is probably more than you need. You got the game.
You went mute, brother. Did you mute him, Mom? You messing with
No,
the tool?
I haven't touched a thing.
Messing with the tools over there, Ma. Uh-oh. We lose you?
Did I mute myself?
Oh, there you go. B. Maybe something going on with this new service. Brian just moved into a new spot. Congratulations, my brother. I think you were telling me about this a while back, or you back? You back?
Oh, I got a call. That's what it was. I got a call and muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, it does it to me on Instagram.
No, you're but no, what I was saying is, you know, it's really great when I think that the people are able to tell you the truth and it doesn't seem like they're trying to get every deal. And they don't have that like you said, that deal breath. And I think sometimes prime example, there's another guy who came out, gave me a quote that was way better. And I was like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and do it. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to send you the quote. You guys go ahead and talk about it. He wasn't rushing. And the fact that he wasn't rushing made me feel even more confident in his quote, in his work and all of those things.
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. Yeah. And so people don't like to feel like they're being sold, right? They like to buy and they don't like to feel like they're being pressured. And so it makes me feel better when I feel like I don't have to feel like Wolf of Wall Street type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a better person in general. I think you've said that before, how it's really cool because we are in a business too, where everybody pretty much wins in the transaction. The seller, when you get that property at a deep discount for a seller who has issue pain, you're serving that seller. You're helping them take away that pain. With that low, deep discounted property, you're able to sell the contract quicker, which is helping the buyer and then the investor, the title company, the construction workers, everybody who's involved in the transaction. There's like 30 plus people involved in the transaction if you count all the different pieces of puzzles that get fed or ate off of you opening your mouth and serving somebody. And so it's a cool feeling. So we shouldn't come in feeling guilty. We should come in feeling like we're attacking and going after folks. In fact, again, we should feel like we're consulting. We're shoulder to shoulder with that seller, trying to figure out what's going on, you know? Yeah. Okay. It just says by Maryland law, it's buyer's choice of where the closing will happen. I'll keep them in the follow and continue to follow with them, but no motivated seller is going to ask you for 1,000 in hand. I mean, he might have been burnt before, or I think you said it was a he. He might have been burnt in the past by other wholesalers, which allows you to come in and be like the hero. He might have felt like, yo, people have been putting stuff down and walk away, or he might just want your $1,000 and run off. But I would definitely protect myself. And $1,000 is high, like I said, but it's not like you can't put up $1,000. And if you need to find out ways to put up 1,000, if it's like, because shoot, they can't. One thing I do say to folks like, yo, Miss Seller, I'm out here locking up these contracts. We're locking up tons of contracts a month so that we can work with our investors to, partners to take them down. If I'm putting out 1,000 on 30 properties a month, my business kind of dries up. That's why we're at this. Is there a reason why you feel like 1,000 or what? Find out what happened and all. But again, it sounds like the more issue is not the $1,000, but him wanting it in his hand. Yeah. Let's do some role play, folks. Y'all ready? Y'all want to role play?
Why not?
Hey, Mom, why don't you be the actual buyer? And Brian, why don't you be a seller for her? And let's see how my mama do.
Hello?
I may have to be the buyer. Brian may be
No. You wanna ring or?
Yeah, you got a ring it, Ma.
Ring.
Hello?
Hello, Brian. This is Maggie with Aqua Teams Properties. I'm calling about your property on Edmond Street.
Okay, what about it?
I know this call is a bit out of the blue, but I wanted to see if you'd be interested in selling that property.
Not. I mean, I guess. What were you thinking?
Well, first of all, it sounds like I caught you at a bad time. Would this be a good time to talk?
Yeah, it's fine. These kids just running around getting on my nerves.
Okay. Well, first of all, we're called to see if it qualifies. We have to get some information, and that would not be me. It would be some of my other team members who have the ability to make an offer. I wouldn't be able to do that, but I would be glad to put your information in our database so someone can call you and provide you with those details. Would you be interested in someone returning your call?
Well, you don't have my information already. You gave me a call. You want to make an offer. You don't have the information already?
No, I do not. You wouldn't want me to provide you with something that is not accurate. And by all means, you would like to speak with someone who's trained in that area, and that person will be able to give you all the information that you have requested you would need in order to make a good decision about if this is something you want to do.
Okay, so what do you need to know? What can I help you with?
Well, I just want to make sure you are interested in that being the case. I'll put your information and submit it to another team member who can take it from there, and they will call you and determine, make some, first and foremost, answer all the questions you have, and they will be able to give you a number that they would think would be good for you, appropriate for your property. Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
It's a prop. What condition is the property in?
I mean, we're renting it out now. I haven't been over there in a while, but
you have renters. Okay. Oh, all right. But have they been renting from you for a while?
Yeah, we rented it out for the last 5 or 6 years now.
Okay. Well, that's been very much some structured income that you've had coming in. Now, again, what I'll do is just forward your information and send it over to another team member, and at that time they'll look over it and give you a call. What would be a call back? What would be a good time to return a call to you or call you back?
Around this time is fine.
Around this time, so we're talking about around 5 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Well, Brian, it's been good talking with you, and look forward to hearing from someone else from Aqua Team. And we look forward to hopefully doing business with you. Otherwise, you have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
All right, mama. Yeah, all right. Thank you. All right. Thanks, both of y'all. All right, you ready for some notes?
Go ahead.
All right. So good intro as far as the way you said hi Brian and all.
Mhm.
I think that when you asked them, we told them it's probably a bad time. I don't think it's necessarily ask them, is this a good time? Say it's probably a because that goes back to them saying yes. We want them to be able to say no,
Yeah.
but it sounds like I caught you at a bad time. It's really important, just psychologically they get to say no.
Mhm.
I think you're over explaining as far as like the one I think you may have misheard him when he was asking about, don't you have my phone number and stuff? Don't you have my information, like contact information? So don't try to over explain that you're just trying to you're here to qualify the property. I love that you use that term too, that phrase. You're trying to qualify it, you get the information, you'll send it on to the team, and then go right back to a question. So, hey, so what can you tell me? What can you tell me about the condition of the property?
Mhm.
Go back to the CPR time, condition, price, reason for selling, the timeline. Because it almost sounds like
Yeah,
you're about to
that
get
would
off
say
the
the main
phone.
thing.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
like whenever you get to the point to where you feel like you're about to explain too much or maybe repeat yourself, just fall back on one of those letters. Just fall back on the CDP or the R.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, Courtney, go ahead.
No, that was it. That's
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. So the CPR.
Right. And try,
Yeah.
it's so hard not to, but really try to avoid yes or no questions. I think you asked, oh, do you have tenants? And it's like yes or no. I mean, but you're able to continue the conversation there, but try to avoid those. And not try
And
to
that
get
was the first time where you really started to inflect your. That was the first
Yeah.
time, honestly, where you seemed interested in the conversation.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it seemed like the first part you were kind of reading, maybe you're a little bit nervous, and then when I mentioned the renters, like it's like you turned on the personality.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and get it to mom quick as possible. Get into Miss Maggie quick as you can.
Yeah, that
Just
when
from
you
jump.
talked about the renters, that gave me an out, and that was so comfortable.
Yeah, because it did sound a little bit like Miss Rollins from what I forget the company you're part of, Sage and all that stuff.
HP software.
Yeah, so when you more sound like Miss Maggie is wonderful. And the only other note I want to give you, I won't get too much, is that well, one, it sounds like you've been, I'll say it, is that when you're asking for a good time to call, go ahead and give them the range. Well, could we call you back tomorrow between 5 and 8? Or can we call back tomorrow morning around this time? Just remember to try to so we can control the timeline as best we can. We ask them, but we ask them by telling them, is tomorrow at 5 o'clock or between 5 and 7 a good time? All right, somebody on the team will call you, or you can even mention my name or Brian's name or somebody on the team so that you can, edify the next person coming up. Does that make sense?
It does.
But shoot, it sounds like you've been working on a script though. That sounds good.
I have. I just like again, it's the having the best for me. The best way to do this is to have the live calls, and which we tried today. But just so I can trial and error and then get the feedback, because what you all just provided, Brian, about the CPR, that is, I need to know where I'm supposed to step in and when I'm supposed to be quiet. So
and one of the things that Courtney told me that helped is, you can't really mess it up. So I think that if you lean more on that personality and that warmth that you were giving off when you're talking about the right questions in the right order, I think that type of perspective and personality is going to give you those answers. It's going to build the rapport, and they're going to give you the information without you asking a question by being more of that type of person.
Absolutely.
okay,
So,
you broke when you said when you actually was saying what I should do. I couldn't.
I think like do not worry. So we do have CPR time. We know where the conversation's going,
Okay.
but just what I was hearing, like you're trying to make a friend. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
When you're working for the big company, you got to put on, the corporate face and put it. It's us, right? This is as small and as personable of a family business is we're ever going to be a part of. So lean on that.
Exactly.
Use that to your advantage. And we're
Exactly.
small and nimble. We're not a, big battleship that it takes us 5 hours to change course. You can dodge and hopscotch and get in
Right.
there and hop out when you want to.
Exactly. Think about how many times you throw out I'm taking calls for my son. You can use that all day, every day. I'm calling for my son. Just he's up there trying to fill his
Look,
dreams.
it might be my son that calls you back. If he gives you too hard
Yeah.
of a time, you let him know. You let him know you
Okay.
called him. Yeah,
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
You got so
In
many
other
tools in
words,
your
it's
belt that you can use. Don't be afraid to pull them out.
all right.
Absolutely.
I come out of that mode of this call may be monitored. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I just got it. All right.
Exactly. All right. Well, why don't you try to be a seller? And Brian, I love watching Brian role play. I always learn something from you, man. Do you mind role playing? And then we'll rock on. All
Yeah, that's fine.
right. So he can ring you in, ma.
Okay.
Hey, ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, man, this is Brian calling from Aqua Team Properties. No, it's a bit out the blue, but I wanted to see if you would consider an offer on your property over on Main Street. Did I catch you at a bad time?
Brian, anytime I get off from work, walk in the door and the phone ring, it's a bad time. But
Look, I completely understand. I want to get home and kick off the shoes and relax myself. If you got just a couple of minutes, I promise I'll try to be respectful of your time if that's okay.
all right, I'll give you a few minutes.
Okay. So it does sound like you are interested in selling Main Street. Is that right?
Well, I've been interested in selling it. Just that my situation is a little bit difficult. I got a family member involved. I got a sister, and she's not she hasn't been willing to cooperate. Although her daughter said she wants her mother to go ahead and sell it, and so we can go ahead and be free of it. So it takes some. It's going to take some convincing of my sister. Well, her snot ass. So I'm just gonna. Um, I just need to know. Do you have anything you could provide me in a way of trying to convince her, or what would we do? Would you talk to both of us? Because I need her to go ahead and lighten up, and let's go ahead and get rid of this, and it will be a benefit to me as well as her. So
Yeah, no, I understand. It sounds like that's been a little bit frustrating having the family member in there and not getting the rent like you were hoping you would.
right.
Yeah. And so one of the things that our clients really like about working with us is that we're sometimes able to step in situations that are uncomfortable like this and kind of be the bad guy. Nobody wants to kick their sister out on the curb or a family member. But if you happen to be selling the property and this Aqua Team is this donor kicking out, it gives you a little bit of separation so you guys can still have conversations during Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, she don't want to sell because she's talking about keeping some in the family. Hell, ain't nobody lived in the house in years, and she live on the West Coast, and we over here on the East Coast, and you know,
Yeah.
I've been the one that have to be tasked with it, and I'm trying to convince her. Although, like I said, her daughter's on board, so if I'm willing to do it, but we're gonna have to. It's gonna have to be involved. She would have to be involved in the
Yeah.
conversation. Telling you now, it's going to take some convincing.
No, absolutely. But it sounds like once we can convince her of the benefits that you'd be willing and looking to sell pretty soon. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Now let me ask a couple of questions. I know she's been living there. Have you guys done any renovations to the property in the last 4 or 5 years?
Nothing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we typically like to figure out exactly the condition of the property, what type of renovations and things that we may have to do to get it back up, and whether we're gonna, rent it out to someone else or do the fix and flip HGTV style or give it to someone else in our investment circle. We want to make sure that we have a good idea so that we can give you a proper price.
So you wouldn't be interested in doing as is. I
Oh
mean,
no, we would absolutely buy it as is. And that's why I was trying to get a little bit better idea
okay,
of exactly
but
what that as is means.
yeah, because I'm if it requires us doing any renovation, I don't want to be involved. I just want to go ahead. It's a good spot, location, and that's why I've been trying to sell it. It's a unit of a row house, and and it has some outside work that will need to be done and interior, but it's got a lovely backyard, and the back deck porch is still standing well. So but it was of course you have to go in there. But like I said, I wouldn't want to be trying to do no renovation.
Yeah, I completely understand. You have an idea of how much those renovations would be? Have you gotten any estimates or any idea of how much that work would be?
I haven't, because I haven't even, like I said, I haven't even gotten the okay, any support from her. So but I'm feeling that my niece would be the person that's going to move her closer to saying yes. But she's a detailed person. She gonna want to make sure every I's dotted and every T is crossed.
Absolutely. Yeah, she should. Now, it sounds like once we're able to buy the house, that the proceeds are going to be split between you and your sister. Is that right? So it sounds like we probably need to get at least her or her daughter in on the conversation as well.
Yes.
Okay. And I know you mentioned she's on the West Coast. Do you think that 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock tomorrow would be too late? I know you're saying you're just getting in now, so maybe give you a couple of hours and give her some time to get off work as well.
Oh, she don't work. But,
okay.
That would be perfect for me because of the time difference. So not a
Okay.
problem.
So what's going to happen next is I'm going to have our acquisitions manager, Courtney, give you and your niece a call. What was her name again?
Paula.
So Courtney is going to give you and Paula a call tomorrow at 8, and we're going to figure out. He's going to be able to further explain what those benefits are, and maybe see if he can figure out a little bit more what her holdups are, so that we can get you that money and get you out of that headache.
Absolutely. So I can have peace on this phone call too.
Yes, absolutely. I think that would be best.
Okay. Well,
look, man, I definitely appreciated your time this evening. I'm gonna have putting out on my notes right now. Courtney's gonna give you and Paula a call tomorrow at 8 at this number.
That sounds good.
Hey, well, look, you have a great rest of your evening, and we'll be having someone talk to you soon.
All right. And your name again?
My name is Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Absolutely.
A bad man. That's a bad boy right there. Woo.
But I'm trying to figure out the script that you gave her, because she had all the background. Whenever I'm the seller, I got to make up some whack backstory that I use
telling you,
every
Mom, I ham. Mom, you are such an actress.
Brian, I have talked to so many people over the years, and you would be. I said I need to write a book about all the characters.
That sounds legit. Like I was like, I had myself on mute. I was letting folks IG know. That sounds legit like a great caller. Like this, a caller you get. It sounds like a great call too. I would be really excited. Brian, man, you are awesome, bro. Yeah, that was a great character to get. Yeah,
Brian.
I got just notes for days. I'm trying not to overwhelm, and most of them are just like for us to hear all the awesome stuff he did. If y'all noticed anything he did that was awesome, put it in the chat. Justin was like, "Yo, confident, great intro." Reese was like, "Man, it's great." Well, he said great content, had to get out of here, but man, the way you weathered her intro, or like coming through fiery, you just like, it was like a keto. Like you took in the energy and was able to throw it back, and not like through force, but through, I got you, getting home and ready to kick off your feet and shoes. And I completely understand that. That was just wonderful.
That's when he would. That's when, because I was trying to be a tyrant.
Yeah, but he just killed you with kindness and with a grass in a tornado, just taking the storm. There's so many things you did, man. The emotional labeling was awesome. Using a third party, using a third party story to talk about what Aqua Team does with people in similar situations was awesome. We never talked about the word future pacing, but future pacing is like when you go ahead and like help the seller or anybody see what it looks like in the future. So do you notice he was like, when we buy this property or when we come up with whatever, it was like already planning. Oh, he was already on the same side of the table with the seller, and setting the stage for, okay, this is what's going to happen next. Just so confident, holding the hand, and like, I would feel so confident with that person, with you talking to me about what's going to happen next, and making sure you set the time. I thought you weren't going to do it, but you did it. As far as recognizing that, we got to get the niece on the phone. That was a great character, Mom. I don't know you get. That was a great character, but making sure you get the niece on the phone, because we recognize that she's not the only one who can make the decision. So she's almost like priming the seller to be like, okay, this is how I'm coaching us, so that when we convince her, we're going to be able to do this. You know what I'm saying? The one area that I think there was opportunity to like throw away was when she kept talking about as is, and as opposed to just jumping to, yeah, we certainly can buy it as is, like just flipping it to when you later on ask, so it sounds like a lot of work to be done now. So what happened to that? Oh gosh, you're not. I'll maybe ask you. So you're not interested in doing that? All right, so we'll need to get it as is if we're going to. All right, well, let me make sure I note that so that we can, so later on we can pull out. So here it is.
Maybe like a label, even though it sounds like you're not going to want to be responsible for any of the repairs or take any of the cost or time associated with that.
Right. So
that's something that we need to do.
Exactly. So when we ask for the price, so okay, so if we are able to take this as is, what is what price can you do for us? That'll give us a, even that's like already something we do standard. It'll give us the chance to respond to their pain and maybe even they may even perceive more value, which can come across as a lower price. But man, what do you think, Mom? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Once I downtoned from being like, I'm gonna be awful nasty to this caller, it was like a bell went off in my head as the character I was playing, that he was going to be the moderator with the sister. He was going to be the one that really bring her to the table,
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I see that. So now she sees you see him as like, oh, this is a great solution. This is a great opportunity. I can get somebody in between that. Okay, yeah.
We'll get it done. We'll get it done. She won't have to talk to me. I won't have to tell her all the pros to us going on and selling. So yeah. And Brian has a real calming voice, and it just it made me I thought I was really the person that I was playing. So I just
yeah, absolutely. Yep, it was smooth. It was you're a bad boy. I'm sorry, Mama.
I apologize for yawning.
Oh, well, anybody see you yawning? But yeah, you're a bad man. That's why I love working with folks. Surround yourselves with amazing folks. You got a mom like mine who you obviously see she can jump in and empathize and be and put herself into the role of a seller, which is going to be helpful on this side as a buyer. And Brian, you just smooth as molasses without seeming salesman-y at all. It just feels like you're there to help, and it's a calm spirit, bro. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Other than that, we about to get off on this section, on this portion. I'm gonna stay on and just keep making my calls all the way through. Actually, I'm going to get off the YouTube and jump back on YouTube Live so I can break this segment up. For anybody who found this valuable, please share with other folks. We're trying to get our subscriptions up. We are getting our subscriptions up through your help. So if you're on YouTube, go check us out on Do REI Deals with the Aqua team. We have tons of sell training just like this. We got other topics that we go over, and we're on here Monday through Friday talking to sellers live, which is what I'm about to do next. So if you're on YouTube, I'm about to jump off so this can be its own tailored piece. If you're on IG, stick around. I'm gonna stay on this bad boy. I made a lot of calls earlier, but I'm gonna make about the rest of my calls today. But man, surround yourself with amazing folks. It helps you be amazing. Brian, you're awesome. Mama, you're awesome. If y'all got any parting words to help people out, please share. Yeah, Jason, I gotta listen to that one later. Yeah, go check it out on YouTube, bro. It'll be on Instagram too.
Nah, man, just happy to getting back to close to being in it. I think next week I'll be actually probably this weekend. I'll probably get all the way back on the calls, and just a reminder of how much the practice helps. Like you were saying, like the live calls, there's nothing like actually getting reps in. And the great thing is there's literally millions of people for us to call. So and they get so many calls that if we call back in a couple of weeks, they probably don't remember the first time we called them. So just
Right.
excited to have the opportunities, really.
Right.
How about that? Yeah.
Right. Mom, you got anything to leave us with?
No, just have a good time making those calls you're getting ready to make, and continue to do what you're doing. You too,
Yes,
Brian.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you so much. Love y'all both, and I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Rising tides, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Heck yeah.